Hello everyone and welcome back to This Is Real Life. I'm your host Sheri and today we are on the family room floor for yet another DIY Wednesday. I really did want to do this one in the garage, but it is so damn cold out today. I was already out in the garage painting something for another DIY coming your way very soon, and I was freezing my balls off. So it was like, well, this DIY is technically not really a DIY at all, so I might as well go into the warmth of my house, sitting in front of the fireplace. A, I won't be cold, and B, it'll be much easier to talk about what we're gonna talk about in this DIY Wednesday if I'm nice and toasty warm. What are we doing? What's going on? I actually did this for a Skincare Saturday video just the other day. I thought it might be fun to do the same with DIY Wednesdays. We're going to do a year in review of all of the DIYs we have done for 2019. And I'm actually gonna, be real honest and say, would I ever make that DIY again? Some, maybe. Some, maybe not. Let's just get into it and see what the hell happened in 2019. You know what I just realized? I'm a dum-dum. I kept saying, we're gonna take a trip down memory lane for 2019. That's not true. I mean, it's no wonder I forgot completely about 2020. This video is the very first video of 2020. Custom storage unit tutorial video. No saw required. I have no idea what that means. What did we make without a saw? My memory is escaping me. I have no idea what we did here. 2020 is our year to get our shit together. All the stuff that we put off in 2019. Oh, so I ding the paint over there. Or, oh, so I keep shoving this shit in this corner because I have nowhere to put it. We're gonna take care of all of that in 2020. Just the intro alone of this video, I was really pumping up. I was excited. We are going to build a very quick and dirty storage shelving unit that you can make with 0 cuts. You're like, Sheri, 0 cuts? How can that be? I remember exactly what this was. It was the ginormous storage unit for the pole studio because we were doing some renovations. We measured out like what we wanted to store in there, and why we didn't need a saw is because I drew everything out on a piece of paper, marked how big I wanted it, how many cubbies, how wide they were, whatnot. I went and got the wood from the Home Depot or the Lowe's or wherever, took it over to the wood cutting area and had them cut all of the pieces down for me. If you want to build anything and you don't have a saw, taking advantage of the customer assistance at the wood cutting area is the best thing ever. Not to mention the fact, if you don't have a car big enough to just grab a whole 4x8 sheet of plywood, toss it in your car and drive home, by having it cut down at the wood cutting area at the Home Depot or at the Lowe's is the best. Then you have manageable pieces that you can put in your car, and then you just put it together like a giant puzzle. I always think that it's like 50 cents a cut, but then every time I buy it, I don't feel like they ever charge 50 cents a cut. So maybe it's free. I had all my wood cut at the Lowe's, brought it home, and just built it. Now, would I build it again? Yes, 100%. You can never have too many storage units. That one didn't cost a lot because the quality of MDF or plywood that I use, I really wanted to say it was MDF because that is the one thing I would change. I would probably use better quality plywood just because MDF is so heavy, and moving that by myself was a pain in the ass. But as far as building storage units goes, it was pretty easy, it was pretty quick. So yeah, for 100% certain, I would build more storage units that are planned out and fit the things that I need them to fit. Because A, it wasn't that expensive, B, it wasn't that hard, C, I didn't even have to get a power tool out. I just got my screw gun and put the damn thing together. If you haven't built one yet, go build a storage unit, I'm telling you. Next up on the list, what do we got? The custom storage bins, which I ended up building the unit. It was that industrial pipes with the elbows and the whatnot. I wanted to replace my dresser in my bedroom. So I made these giant cubby holes at the bottom. Then it was like, okay, well, I need some bins. I need some bins that fit perfectly into the area that I need them to fit to put, like, you know, my underwear and socks and stuff in, everything from my dresser. I couldn't find any bins that were exactly the size that I wanted them. So I came up with the brilliant idea. Guess what we're gonna make them out of? Dollar Tree foam core. I know, mind blown. I'm not gonna lie, I love those. I covered mine in burlap, which we all know Bob loves, and he has ruined 2 of them by using them as a scratching post. He's over there, just lounging around like nothing. You know what you did. He just looks at me and is like, I don't give a shit what I did. We wrapped them in fabric, and then I did a little like twine detail along the bottom. And then for the handles, they were like hooks that you would use in your garage. And I just turned them upside down and sprayed them black and then hot glued them onto the storage bin. Those suckers, I'm telling you what, aside from Bob completely wrecking the fabric, those storage bins have held up, and it has been 1 solid year. Pull them in, pull them out, fill them with, t-shirts, socks, underwear, what have you. They're completely sturdy, the exact right size, and they're gorgeous. Were they time consuming? Yes, they were time consuming. I do remember that. But all in all, I remember it not being very expensive. The price for 4 of them, insane and well worth it. I must have been really on a storage kick at the beginning of 2020. However, if you do make a storage unit and then you do need bins, and let's say the plastic ones from the Dollar Tree don't fit exactly right, or what you're finding does not match your decor, get a couple of sheets of foam board, hot glue those suckers together, wrap them in a fabric, boom. And you know what? I am gonna do those again, or at least repair the ones that Bob fucked up, because I need to get more burlap and rewrap those. But I love those. It was well worth the price. Even though time consuming, well worth the price. Okay, 11 months ago, we made the Kirkland's coat rack that I saw. Not gonna lie, I wasn't that impressed with the overall look of it. I mean, it's still in my dining room. I have it out. People can hang their coats on it. I just personally don't think that I chose the right finish. The bucket that I found for the umbrellas, I was so into the patina of that bucket. I couldn't find any coat hooks to match that patina. So I had to create my own faux painting technique to try to match. And I'm thinking that if I sprayed it all black, or if I sprayed it all white, if it was all one color, screw it. The patina of the bucket needs to go, and you just, paint it solid white. I don't know. Would I make that one again? I mean, as much as I wanted a coat rack, number one, let me just tell you, I've always wanted a coat rack. So I was like, hell yeah, I want to make this one because I've always wanted one. No one used it. There's not a coat hanging on it right now. There has never been a coat hanging on it. No one's used that goddamn coat rack. And it was kind of a pain in the ass to make, just to try to get the pole centered within the bucket, and I couldn't find anything, and I had to make do with the strapping stuff. Hand screwing in sucks. Can you say bloody knuckles? That is such a tight spot in there. I'm gonna go no. I probably wouldn't make that one again. I mean, I'm all about if you guys want to give it a try, but no, I don't think so. No Sew Custom Drapery. If you watch that video, you will know that I had done custom drapery in both my front rooms. And then I had one more window in the corner of my dining room that I never finished. Boom, there's the drapery there. Oh, and then there's a window that is naked. So this was me in my attempt to get something checked off of the list of things that I've been putting off for years and years and years and years. 15, 16, 17 years to be exact. So I will just say, drapery in general is expensive. And if you can find fabric, at 50% off at the Joann's, I'm a fan. Custom drapery, I'm all about. It doesn't take long. The version we did was no-sew because I used hem tape that you just iron on to hem up your edges. They look completely professional with very, very little money. And it's very easy to do. One of the easiest DIY projects for a lot of bang for a little buck and a little effort. Really. Windows that need some drapery? I'd say custom drapery all day, all the time. Yes, custom drapery. Love it. So next up in the 2020 DIY Wednesday folder, vintage grape tray wall clock. I love that. I love that one. It's right here. It's hanging. It's been hanging here. I'll get it right here. I can grab it right off the wall. It's still working. I mean, not that it wouldn't work. Look, here it is. I love this thing. A huge wall clock. Remember, these numbers were like address numbers for like the outside of your house, and we got them at the Michaels. Clock kit thing, got at the Michaels too. The grape tray was given to me by a friend of mine. But if you didn't have a grape tray, you could make a clock like this big out of a frame, out of plywood in a frame, out of scrap pieces of board, whatever. The hardest thing I remember was like measuring where the numbers would go so that the clock would actually tell the right time. Other than that, it was perfect. I love it. I'm super proud of it. I think it's fucking awesome. If you haven't made a clock for yourself, make it, because clocks that are this big, we looked. They're expensive, and this was not expensive at all. Make yourself a clock. Screw some numbers into a piece of wood, put a clock thing on it, put a battery in the clock thing, boom, done. And then we went right into making the chalkboard command center out of the other grape tray that I got from my friend. And that's in the office. It's cute. I like it. Scrap plywood, old picture frame, paint half of it with chalk paint, put little cubbies on the other half, put some hooks to hang your keys. It was a fraction of the cost of the command centers that we saw online. I dug that one too. Do I use it all of the time? No, because it's in the office and I don't go in there that much. But it's cute and I like the way it looks in my office better. In the office, it's more of just like wall decor, to be quite honest. But I did like it, and I probably should rehang it somewhere that I would actually use it, because right now I just throw all my mail on that little desk over there. But yeah, if you need a command center and you've got some scrap wood, some chalk paint, I say go for it. That was a good one, and it wasn't expensive, and again, not hard. That project was not hard at all. So make yourself one and then send me a picture. After the command center, we did the statement chair upcycle. This video just brings me great memories because, hold on, you guys are gonna die, hold on. This little piece of paper right here. Why does that bring her such joyful memories? I found a chair on the side of the road, and I just really liked like the shape, the style. It was beat down. It looked like the people had just kept it outside. It was weathered. It was a mess, but I just really liked like the style of it, and I wanted to make a fun, colorful, pick a fabric that, was just like kind of out there and didn't really go with any of my decor, because I wanted a chair in my bedroom that would really stand out. I painted the wood like a lime green color. Oh my God. I'm so excited for this. And the fabric I just love. I found it at the Joann's for like 50% off, or I used a coupon or something. So ripping apart this chair, I was joking like, oh my gosh, what if this is some mid-century modern piece? And then I found in the chair this little slip of paper that was like stapled inside to the underneath. 3702, and then it looked like River, but that was ripped off, and then like Franklin Park. Some of you guys did some research, and we think we figured out where the chair came from, and guess what? I do own a mid-century modern piece of furniture that I found on the side of the road. Now, is there any value to it anymore? No, because I completely took it apart, recovered it, painted it. Could I sell it for millions and millions of dollars? No. But is it kind of fun knowing that I have this piece that was some mid-century modern piece from way back when? Yeah, super fun. Now, recovering chairs is not easy. I mean, it's easy in some respect. The hard part about this one is that the back and the seat were all one piece. And it was the first time I had ever used upholstery tack, like a strip of upholstery tack, to get the back of the fabric real nice and smooth. I'd never used that before, and that was a little difficult to figure out. Now I have recovered a million chairs where the seat is separate from the back, so you literally unscrew the seat, put your fabric on, staple it down, screw it back down, do the same for the back. That is way more manageable than this one that the back and the seat were all one piece. That was a little hard. It wasn't hard to where it was impossible to do. Hard as in like, wait, let's figure it out. How do I get this fabric to lay right? You know, that sort of thing. I'm all about recovering furniture. One person's trash is your treasure. And that chair was completely free, minus the cost of a couple yards of fabric and a can of paint. And it looks amazing now. Amazing. But I will say one disclaimer. When you are picking up furniture from the side of the road, you need to be, remember we found a spot like, what is this? Oh yeah, okay, that was a dead spider carcass. Oh my God, black widow nests. You have to disinfect the shit out of it. You found it on the side of the road in a trash pile. You don't know where it's been. So just bring it home, put it in your garage, let it air out. Once you rip the fabric off, then spray the shit out of it with everything you can think of until it smells fresh and clean. And then recover it and then bring it on in like it's yours. And it's a really, really, really great way to bring in new accent pieces into the house without having to spend a lot of money. You just gotta keep your eyes open as you drive down the road. So yeah, recover a chair. Try it if you haven't tried it before. It's really not that bad. Just make sure, if it's your first time, the seat separate from the back. That's key. So our next DIY was inspired by Bob. And it was inspired by Bob because he instantly started scratching on my custom storage bins. So I made him the custom cat tree. That was actually pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I cut apart an old ficus tree and bought a lot of stuff from the Dollar Tree. I remember not spending a lot. I bought all that rope and twine for like to scratch on. So I had fun doing that project. And then Bob didn't use it. And he pretty much still doesn't use it. However, you know who uses the shit out of it? Joe. He loves it. He loves it so much that I've already had to re-wrap new rope and twine around the legs. And I just looked at it again the other day and he has torn that thing to shit. I need to re-wrap it again. So I am very, very, very happy that at least one of the cats is using it because Joe doesn't scratch one thing in the house. He uses that scratching post like a good boy. But you know, Bob, still working on it with Bob. Get up there. Oh, shit. Bob has an attitude. I mean, let's face it. You know, gotta love him, but he's definitely one of those, like, you know, those kids that you're like, don't climb up those stairs. And then they look at you and they're like, and they climb right up the stairs. That's Bob. He doesn't use the cat tree, but Joe does, and for that reason, I love that damn cat tree. It was just a super organic build, used some screws, wrapped some rope and some twine around it. It was great, because you know, if you're a cat owner, cat trees in real life, number one, ugly as fuck. Number two, expensive. So if you can make your own cat tree, your style, your total vibe, it is well worth it. I mean, it's well worth it as long as you know your cat's gonna use it. That's all I can say. 1 out of 2 cats ain't bad, right? Next up, Rustic Dollar Tree entertaining DIY ideas. I have them. I'll go get them. This DIY, I found these log things. They're in the section where you can buy like the bags of rocks or the bags of shells in the floral section. I was like, oh my gosh, those are really cool. I wanna make something out of them. So we ended up making place card holders. I think these are darling. And 10 cost me $2. The place card holders, I love. Have I been able to use them? No. The day after I made these was the day we were told no one's allowed to come over to your house anymore. That's kind of sad. But I do like the place card holders for certain. Then I had extra of those short ones and I made these little trivet guys. These were dumb. I should just throw them in the garbage. That was I was just looking to use the extra little log things just so I didn't waste them. I mean, I guess this little cutie one, because I made a small one and then like a bigger one, this one would be cute for like a jar candle on it or something, because it is cute. I really just didn't want to waste the rest of these that I had. Then we took the stick ones and covered a Dollar Tree frame to make a tray. This isn't bad. Is it super cute? I've made cuter things, I think. I mean, it only cost $2 and it's cute for like a little dessert tray. I mean, it's okay, but I don't know. I think I could have done something a little better. But literally, it's hot glued little stick logs around a Dollar Tree frame. So if I end up throwing it in the garbage, not that big of a deal. You know, okay, I know what you're hearing because I'm hearing it too. I'm talking myself into thinking it's cute when in reality, I don't really think it is that cute. But in the right environment, maybe a spare bathroom, this could be cute on the counter with like a jar of Q-tips, a jar of cotton balls, little soaps, maybe. But in reality, maybe not. But the place card holders, for sure. You know, maybe this next Christmas of 2021, you'll actually be able to host Christmas or Thanksgiving or a wedding, you know, $2 for, let's say, 15 of them, quite possibly. That's pretty good. That's a real good deal. Would I make the place card holders again? Yes, I think they're darling. So save yourself that time and don't hot glue sticks around a frame. That was just dumb. It's not horrible, but it's not like the best. In reality, I shouldn't have purchased the additional supplies and just made the place card holders because those were a winner for sure. The rest was just a waste of my goddamn time and a waste of $2. After that disaster of a DIY, what did we do? Pallet upcycle, free garage storage. Well, I don't even have to tell you, anything out of a pallet, I love it. We literally found a pallet, cut it in half, turned it into an L shape so it fit in the corner of the garage, put all of our like brooms and rakes and whatever in it. It was perfect, it was easy, it was free. And all my gardening shit is still organized in the corner of the garage. And I always know where my broom is. I always know where my little rose cutting clippers are. You need some garage storage? You should make that for sure, because it's easy. And you know what? I cut mine in half to make it an L because I wanted it to go in a corner. But in reality, if you just wanted it to go flat up against your garage wall, you wouldn't need to cut it at all. Put it up there, hammer some shit on, stick your tools in it, done. Go find a pallet or two because you can make so many things out of pallets, I swear. What do we do next? Oh, yeah, this. We were getting ready for the summer and we were doing a patio furniture refresh, and it's actually when I got my paint spray gun, which I was so excited about. I love that thing. These loungers that I redid, they took a lot of time. I'd like to say it was a labor of love, but I didn't love 1 minute of it. Oh my goodness, I think I might want to kill myself. This second lounger gave me a run for my money when putting it back together. While they're beautiful, they're redone, I painted them orange, they look amazing. Is refreshing your patio furniture worth it? I guess it would depend on how expensive it is to replace the furniture that you want to redo, especially those loungers. You know, those loungers had about 8,000 slats of wood that I had to sand and strip, and it was just a lot. Looking back, I would say you should just save up your pennies and go buy new loungers. I think if I ever need to give them another refresh, you know, maybe like a couple summers from now, I'm not going to. I'm just gonna get rid of them and buy new loungers. That's it. Or not have loungers. I get it. If I wanna lay out, I'll lay a towel on the ground and lay out that way. But the paint sprayer, loved it. But yeah, those loungers were a pain in my ass. So if you can afford to, throw out what you need to refresh and buy new. And you know you'll never hear me say that very often because I am not a big fan of wasting money or spending money on things that we don't really need to spend money on, especially if we could redo it ourselves. But man, those were time consuming, and time is money. I think a long time ago I had gotten a comment from somebody asking if I have ever refinished my kitchen cabinets. I actually have, not in this house, in my first house. I painted them and they looked super cute. And in that first house, we were broke as a joke. There was no way I could replace kitchen cabinets. So buying like a couple cans of paint and some sandpaper was well worth it. But I will never redo kitchen cabinets. I shouldn't say never. I might redo kitchen cabinets again, but in my head, I know to do it right, you have to take them all down, sand them of every stitch of stain, lacquer, what have you. Then you have to paint a thin coat and then sand that. And then paint another coat and then sand that. And then paint a clear coat and then sand that. And then paint your final coat just to make sure that it doesn't chip and it was so time consuming. One of those projects where you're getting to the end and you're like, I've spent a million hours on this and I just want to get it done. So you find yourself kind of rushing through. So yeah, can you redo your kitchen cupboards? 100%. Is it gonna be a pain in your ass? 100%. That's like how I feel about redoing patio furniture. So after we redid the loungers, I came up with, which I still think is a brilliant idea, the lounger pads needed a refresh as well, but outdoor fabric costs $1 million. So I came up with the brilliant idea of using beach towels, and we just sewed a big rectangle, like a big rectangle pillowcase, slid the old lounger pads in them, voila, we were done. That was easy and very cost effective. Here's what I will say about that. Those beach towels faded so fast because they were out in the sun 24/7, day after day after day after day. They don't look that great, and I'm gonna have to remake them again. So you might as well just go out and, spend the big bucks on the outdoor fabric that's not gonna fade on you. I really liked them just because they were pink flamingos and the towels were soft, but having to do it over again, knowing that I'm gonna have to redo them again anyways, I probably just would have used outdoor fabric, to be honest with you. In the moment, needing them for the summer, wanting to not spend a lot of money, it was perfect. But just know if you do use beach towels, they're gonna fade to shit. So you're just gonna have to redo it again. So it's like one of those, like, would I make it again? Yeah, I would make it again, but probably out of the correct fabric. All right, we are halfway through 2020, and 6 months ago, we made our own citronella candles. You know I have a mosquito problem, and they love my sweet honey blood, because when we would be in the garage for DIY Wednesday, the mosquitoes were attacking me like crazy people. Oh my God, can you say West Nile? There are so many mosquitoes. There's one on me right now. Oh my God, he ate so much blood that when I smashed him, I got blood on me. That's disgusting. Those were great. Looking back, I used way too much citronella oil. And I don't think it's like a huge deal, but the wax never fully super duper hardened like a candle. It was really more like soft to the touch, actually. I was going overkill because the mosquitoes were on my nerve, and I thought the more citronella, the better. That's not the case. You need less citronella oil so that your wax actually solidifies. Because the wax was already so soft, it would melt so fast, and basically it was too much of a flood of wax in too short of a time, so it would just burn my wick out. So I kept having to relight them, so that was kind of a pain. But would I make the citronella candles again? Yeah, 100%. It worked. They kept the mosquitoes away. I just would make them with less drops of citronella oil. I think my recipe was a little heavy on the citronella oil. But as far as candle making is concerned, it was totally easy. Recycled some jars, melted the wax. The only step was pour in citronella oil and then re-pour them into your jar and let them harden. So yeah, citronella candles are expensive, and we made about 1 million of them for pretty cheap. I for sure will do that again, like next mosquito season. Oh, next we made amazing Dollar Tree pendant lighting DIY out of those trash cans, those like mesh netty metal trash cans. I'm sorry, I was just looking at the title because I called it Dollar Tree pendant light, even though I used a light thing from the Ikea. Here's why. I hate when you go to a video and they're like, amazing XYZ from Dollar Tree products, and you go to the video and they literally used one thing from the Dollar Tree, but then everything else they used was from like the Michaels, the Target, the Walmart. That irritates me. So I was looking at this title thinking, did I do that? But I didn't say only using Dollar Tree products, so I think I'm safe. That was great. That was really good. Those turned out way better than I thought they would. And they have a very high-end look. I for sure would do something like that again if I needed like a pendant light that you were okay with like doing like a cord swag and then plugging into. So if you don't have any electricity up in your ceiling and you can do like the cord swag and then take the cord down and plug it into a wall switch, is brilliant. I mean, I didn't make up the invention, but I'd like to think that I took it to another level. Okay, now this one I really liked. This was the Ikea inspired garage hanging storage, which in reality, Ikea, they had it as indoor decor. And I thought, well, cute, I really prefer it for in my garage to hang things. And you remember it was just a straight up 2x4. We used the cup drill bit or a paddle drill bit to create a circle hole in the 2x4 and then a dowel, and we just crammed the dowels into each one of those circles. This is gonna take like 2 seconds. So that's done. That took all of 2 seconds. I got a bunch of shit off of my garage floor up, and that sucker sturdy. Oh my goodness. And then for the price that Ikea wanted theirs, I remember that ours was like a quarter of the price and way longer. You could make that same thing if you needed hanging like indoor decor, same exact way. Don't need to buy it from Ikea. I think ours looks great. I want my whole garage lined with that. That was real good. I like that one. And it's easy. It really is easy. I liked it. I need to make more. We did this 5 months ago. It was the Mixtiles. Now, would I make them again? No. And the reason I wouldn't make them again is because I made something better, and it was that Pottery Barn Instaframe. I like that 10 times more than I like the Mixtiles. And maybe it has to do with the fact of where I hung the Mixtiles and how I hung them. I don't think it's ideal. Oh, well, hell. Son of a bitch. Wow. Was it easy? Yes. Did we make it completely from Dollar Tree items? Yes, we did. Did we save a fortune? 100%. Can you achieve the look of a Mixtile for a fraction of the cost? Yes, you can. It's a no-fail like way to get that Mixtile look for just a couple of dollars. 100%. So if you love that look of the Mixtile, I would say for certain, you should make your own Mixtiles. There's no need to buy those Mixtiles for the ridiculous prices that they're asking. Hell to the no, $12 each. Even with the bulk discount, if you want to get 8 tiles, that's $69. We can make that. I'm telling you that right now. I really do think it's because of how I hung them and where they're hung that maybe I'm not liking them as much. I should take them down and put them somewhere else and hang them in a different orientation. It might make me like them more. But since making that Instagram frame, oh my gosh. Seriously, dude. I just really like the look of the Instagram frame. So Mixtiles, while a great fail-proof DIY that achieved the exact look we were going for a fraction of the cost, would I make them again? Probably not. And it's not that there was anything wrong with that DIY. It was a great DIY. I just don't think that they're necessarily my style, that's all. And then we did the second pallet mirror in the history of the channel. Our first pallet mirror we did in 2019, and that was a floor standing pallet mirror, which I loved. And then had the idea of eventually one day making a wall one with a shelf. And I'm looking at it right now, and it's beautiful. Yes, it is huge. I love it. Not a lot of effort. We recycled the mirror. The pallet wood was free. We made a shelf out of a broken piece of the pallet wood. I'm gonna finish cracking it with my bare hands, like Incredible Hulk. See, where I'm staring at it. It's a great statement piece for above my fireplace, even though I can't see myself in the mirror because it's way too high. I don't care. I love it. And so I don't know, if you're looking for a giant statement piece mirror, whether it be floor, like floor standing where you lean it up against a wall, or one that you actually hang on a wall, pallet wood's a great way to go. Even if raw pallet wood isn't your style, pallet wood's free. So you could sand it, stain it, or sand it and paint it, make a huge statement for $12, y'all. Go get a pallet and make a mirror, because I love it. That might be one of my favorite things that I've made on display in this house. I think that is great. And it was easy. Glue and a mirror and board and pallet wood. How can you go wrong? Oh my gosh, I almost forgot about this one. And I don't know why I forgot about it, because it's in my bedroom. I see it every day and I love it. It was the We Can Make That West Elm $100 planter out of those Dollar Tree Jenga blocks. Now, if that wasn't I just literally said the pallet mirror was my favorite, but as far as like recreating something as close as possible to the real expensive thing out of Dollar Tree Jenga blocks, that West Elm pot, oh, that was a good one. See that there? Now, upon closer inspection, what does that look like to you? What is that made out of to you? Because to me, it's made out of Dollar Tree Jenga blocks. I mean, you would think that gluing all those little Jenga blocks together would have taken forever, but it really didn't take a long time. Once you get in the rhythm of it, it's like boom, 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 boom. The longest thing was wood filling all of the little gaps. But you know, once the wood filler was in there and dry, and then just sanding it and staining it and painting it, that thing really looked legit, like I bought it from West Elm for $100. We made this amazing pot with Jenga blocks. Seriously, are you kidding me right now? It's amazing what you can make out of those little Jenga blocks, isn't it? Yeah, I would 100% do that again. Maybe even in different sizes to do like a grouping of 3 for 100% certain. Gosh, I can't get over how close that recreation was to the real thing. Like, there's no way no one would know that I didn't buy it from West Elm. Not gonna lie, it looks amazing. Now we're really getting close to the end of 2020 because we are in our Halloween DIYs, and the first one was the spooky Halloween rose and skull DIY. We all know that was badass. I don't need to tell you. Using those plastic Dollar Tree skulls and then putting a coat of like metallic silver or metallic gold spray paint and then hot gluing the rhinestones. Oh, that recreation, I loved it so bad. I made 2, one for either side of my mantle, and I loved the skulls so much. I tell you what, I was making skulls for everyone because it was so easy, and I had all the rhinestones already. I think I made myself 2 more. I made John 1, 3 of my girlfriends, Kristen, Deborah, and Dorothy 1. Yeah, I made like 7 or 8 extra and was just like doling them out to whoever. If you like to decorate your house with skulls at Halloween, I say for sure make those next Halloween. A little hot glue, a little spray paint, a little rhinestone. Oh, mwah, loved it. And then we made the 3 last minute Halloween projects, the spider in the frame, the twig wreath with the snakes. And then the third one was the, I blocked it from my memory because I hated it. The Halloween Dollar Tree ornament wreath. Does it look really, really nice? Yes, it does. Was it a pain in the ass? 100%. 100%. I didn't like that one. It was not last minute by any means. I don't know who I was fooling by calling that one last minute. Whoops. That one was a shit show. I hated that ornament wreath. If I packed it and didn't throw it away, I'm crazy. And the only reason why I maybe packed it away to use next Halloween was because I just felt bad because I'd spent so much time making it, and actually $1 million in Dollar Tree ornaments because it took 800,000 ornaments to fill that wire wreath. But the other 2 last minute Halloween decor items I did like. That spider in that frame, I liked that one. And then the twig wreath with the snakes, that one was good too. And both of those, all you needed were the supplies, some spray paint, and some hot glue, and you were done. And I did save those Halloween decor items because I loved them, but that ornament wreath, man. I'm not ever going to make an ornament wreath again. Let's just be real clear on that. I was gonna say, if anybody out there has any ideas or the best way to string the ornaments onto that wire wreath, leave me a comment and let me know. But there's a part of me that's like, even if you tell me an easier way, I'm not gonna make another one because I hated that first one I made. And that brings us to Thanksgiving. We made the $0 chalkboard easel. I mean, I feel like anytime you can make a chalkboard, it's kind of a win, but taking scrap wood and some chalk paint and making an easel to like do your Thanksgiving menu on or to keep out all year and just write on, I liked it. Cost $0. It was perfect. It was super easy to make. If you're in need of a chalkboard easel, I say make it because it was easy and it was free. Then we made the personalized keyring holder for little Davis. It was just like, what do I have in my garage? I'm not spending any money on this. What can we create? I loved it. Davis loves it. He has it at his house with his roommates. They all have a little key hook that's their own. They use the little mail cubbies. They love it. I'm just happy that I made him something that he wanted and that he really liked. It just goes to show, you don't have to go out and buy supplies every single time you want to make something. You just pull shit together that you already have and let your creative mind take over and see what you can come up with. I had no plan going into it. I just got some shit together, a box, some extra wood, some paint, and came up with something really great that's one of a kind that no one else will have and that Davis and his roommates really love. Turn all the way directly around and look.
Oh, dang. Wait, this looks way good.
Thanks, baby.
That's exactly what I needed.
Look at that, perfect. I would make something like that again for sure. And I think you should make something like that too. Because who doesn't need a little keyring organizer situation hanging by their door? Everyone needs that. I don't know, 2020 was a good year for DIYs. I was really like killing it in 2020 because next up we have the perfect Christmas gift, custom bourbon barrel Lazy Susans. Let me just tell you, everybody I made those for Christmas was fucking over the moon about them. And I made one for myself and I love it. It's on my kitchen table right now. I love it. It was the best DIY ever. That was another one where we just knocked it out of the park as far as recreating something to look almost exactly like the original. It's right here. And I was like, oh my God, that is so awesome. And then I looked at the price and it was $150. Oh, hail to the no. We're gonna make that. Now, will ours be out of a bourbon barrel? No, but will it look like it is? Yes, yes it will. Number 2, everybody was like, oh my God. They reacted exactly as I thought they would react. They're gonna be like, oh my God, I can't believe that you spent, I've seen these on the internet, anywhere from like $150 to $200. Like, this is the best Christmas gift ever. And then you're just gonna be sitting back going, yep, it is. And that wood burning tool, love it. Easy to use. It wasn't that expensive. And now I could wood burn the shit out of anything at any time. And we made it out of scrap fence board. If you want to try to make that, I would love for you to because those are nice. I love mine and everybody I gave one to loves theirs too. Maybe put it on your list for like things you want to make for people this coming up Christmas. Get a jump start on them. People are gonna love them. And as 2020 came to a close, it's not really a DIY per se, but I think we should still talk about it. The 8-hour DIY and organization challenge. I definitely need to do this again. What I loved about this one is I know a few of you were inspired to do it as well. Now, you may not have done it for 8 hours straight, which is fine. I don't think I'll do it again for 8 hours straight, but a good 4 hours for sure. I loved that this video inspired some of you to challenge yourself to get organized and just get some shit done before the year is over. You know, we did end up making a DIY. What did we make? I want to make make some under the bed storage because right now my under the bed just has a bunch of shit under it and I'd like to contain it in a nicer way. Those are under my bed right now. Cleaned out my entire under the bed, used those 3 little storage things, put everything in them. My under the bed is super clean, super organized, and those, you know, those little wood things, they just roll in and out, easy peasy. While not officially a DIY Wednesday video, it was a video that I really liked. I would do that again. I need to do it again like tomorrow. So yeah, the 8-hour challenge video was the last DIY Wednesday video of 2020. And what a great video to end the year on. That's it. That covers all of the DIY Wednesdays we did in 2020. How many things did we make? 23, 24. You know, I could have known because it's every other Wednesday. 24 DIYs in 2020. We get a lot of shit done. I will say that. Good job, us. There was our trip down DIY Wednesday memory lane. And the reason I wanted to do this, number one, is I did want to go back and look like, were there some DIYs that, you know, were a little iffy? Because, you know, in the moment when I'm making a DIY and I get done and I'm like, this was amazing, because, you know, you're feeling the high of being creative and getting stuff done. And of course, I think everything I make is amazing. I wanted to just take a minute to look back and double make sure that that still holds true. And we learned that some of them, like that coat rack, not so much. But for the most part, yeah, everything we did make was pretty awesome in 2020. All but 3 or 4 of those things I would make again, and I think you should make them too. You can make anything you put your mind to. All it really took to complete the projects was a really good imagination and very little skill. If I can do it, you guys can do it. 100%. Don't ever think that there is something that I make on this channel that you can't make yourself. You might not have the exact tools that I use. You can get around that. You can have wood cut at the Lowe's or the Home Depot. Nothing we do is super hard. I am not by any means some master woodworking craftsman. Hell no. I just know that I can do it, and therefore I do it. And I believe that you can do it too. Do I pull out a table saw once in a while? Yeah. It's just because I have it. If I didn't have it, I would figure something else out. If you haven't made a 2021 resolution yet, I would like you to make the resolution of try a couple DIYs. You're gonna build a storage unit. Maybe you've never worked with wood before. Now's the year to work with wood. I'm telling you. Maybe it's as simple as you wanna just reorganize your closet. Maybe put up another closet rod. That's a DIY, and you can do it. Don't think you can't, because you totally 100% can. I wouldn't lie. So yeah, if you like this video and you found it inspiring, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Be sure to ring that notification bell so you are alerted to all of the DIY Wednesday videos I push out, which is every other Wednesday at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. Make sure to share this video with your family and friends. And as always, thanks for hanging out.